This background is my patio for my tent. It's not a normal tent, it's a glamping tent, but it's absolutely beautiful. And just over there, there's the river and there's hippos in the river. It's just incredible. So I wanted to go live today to share an experience that we had yesterday. There was a sharing circle yesterday afternoon, and one of the ladies said that she felt very heavy, very sad, and very angry, and she could see the absolute poverty of people not even having clean water at their disposal. So when she handed over a bottle of water to the children, they just couldn't wait to drink it because it's not readily available to them. And she felt angry that we were traveling through the country of Kenya, looking at its people, looking at its land, being there with the animals, and yet the people live in such poor circumstances. And she had a lot of anger inside her about what we in the West are not giving and are not doing for these people. So that's one perspective, the holding the pain of the poverty of the nation. And then there were people that felt and agreed with her. They felt guilty that they had so much and these people didn't. And another person gave another perspective, and that perspective was, well, all I see is joy. All I see is kids running in the fields and down the road and feeling so free, and all I see is joy. So that's another perspective. People were talking about their perspectives, and I had another perspective, which I wanted to share from my heart after hearing everybody else's perspective, which is, first of all, it's important to have as many perspectives about everything as possible. It's very important that we all speak about our perspectives because all of those perspectives are true. There is pain, there is poverty, there is joy. I saw also a lot of joy and freedom in the country, freedom and joy that don't exist in our Western countries, where children are not tied by the phone, where they are experiencing life, where they are happy and joyful. But there's another perspective that I want to share, which is a different perspective altogether, which is, who are we to judge another soul's journey and another soul's decision to reincarnate into a specific country that has specific economic circumstances? We can't possibly know what their soul is actually choosing to do. Maybe they have some karma that they need to release. Maybe they've already experienced being wealthy and they want to experience a different life altogether. But we are judging other people's soul path based on our very limited understanding of what's really going on. Because there is no mistake about where we choose to reincarnate. There is no mistake about the land that we choose to reincarnate on. We are, as souls, very aware of the circumstances that we're going to drop into the body in. And we don't know as to why we have chosen this particular life. It reveals itself eventually, or it may not. Either way, there is a bigger plan working out here. And so when we judge and say that these people, they're living in poverty, I understand that you feel the pain of children not having clean water. It's really sad and it's human, and it's, of course, your heart breaks when you see that. But then there's also the joy that the children are experiencing with the freedom in this country as well. And there's also the absolute knowingness that everything is perfect exactly the way it is playing out, and that it's supposed to be playing out in this way for whatever reason that we are not aware of. And so, is it possible to hold in our heart the belief that it's all perfect, and just because we see something that we think is not fair, that person may be experiencing more joy and more fulfillment and more love than somebody on the other side of the world who has all the wealth, financial wealth, that they think they want. So can we hold both of those scenes together and know that it's all perfect? And that no matter where someone is located, no matter where they're placed, this is how humanity shows itself. So for example, a few years ago, I moved to a touristy town in South Australia called Glenelg. Every single day I would be walking past homeless people, something that I wasn't accustomed to doing back in Melbourne. This is because it was a tourist area and that's where the homeless congregated. Every single day, as I walked past, I would get tested on how much time am I going to spend with these people? How much money am I going to give these people? What's my limit? What's my threshold? Where's my compassion at? And so those people have a purpose to serve. And you may think, well, that's unfair that they're having a purpose to serve, but it's a two-way street. We're giving to them, they're giving to us. I believe that these people that I pass every day, they're angels on earth that show us our humanity. And so we think that it's such a big deal for people to be in really bad economic circumstances, but we also need to remember that the higher perspective is that this lifetime is this big. It's just a tiny little chapter because we are eternal and there are many lifetimes after this and many before. So the soul considers this lifetime to be this little, this big. And so we treat everything so seriously instead of seeing things as unraveling in a perfect way. So maybe the next time you look at somebody's circumstances, no matter what they are, instead of judging them to be bad or good, perhaps ask yourself, who am I to judge that soul's journey? And just see how that feels. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear more on the comments down below. Sending you so much love.